solution to that we always had somehow a dearth of economic thinking and sitting down and forming macroeconomic kind of strategies for the province.
So we need to create institutions whereby provinces can engage with the Federation in a credible way on how macroeconomic policy is managed in the country.
Especially this province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa is having in the context of the CPAC.
There's also very little that we know about the informal sector and informal firms that are operational inside Peshawar and other urban centers of KP.
You can revisit that after BRT, has there been an increase in women's participation in the labor force?
So we are going to be collecting the data from 300 businesses in a high density area and 100 businesses in a low density area.
Essentially, way to verify whether the district health inspectors tasked with monitoring these healthcare facilities.
So that's the magnitude that you need to have a look, so that you should be able to contribute to that kind of increasing efficiency discussion.
हमने जो थर्ड पार्टी से टेस्टिंग करवा के टीचर्स रिक्रूट किए हैं तकरीबन 37,000 अभी और 17,000 मजीद करवा रहे हैं, तो वो हम खुद उसकी टेस्टिंग नहीं करते, तो वो काफी बेहतर हो रहा है। थर्ड पार्टी के जरिए जो टेस्टिंग होती है वो बेहतर हो जाती है।
Because of the IGC, we have access to a large network of international researchers and academics.
First think of a more stronger economic integration and then let the rest happen in terms.
And incentivize being honest, that can have some perverse impacts in society.
We are also working on Greater Peshawar Circular Rail project.
Focus is mostly on teachers and head teachers. I didn't see any on the administration and the management side of assessment.
The idea is when we're sort of designing an intervention, you have to focus on one particular thing. And if we mix up too many things, then it's difficult to tell exactly what worked.
I think we should have a better look into the problem. The problem is deep down there.
So data for the research purposes has been collected and is now being analyzed. There are several data sets that were collected.
For the next decade, what will be the requirement for the industry?
Are there any efforts made to make conditions more feasible for industry?
We should focus about the SDGs because the 5 components of SDG 17 is direct focused and meet to the needs of people with disabilities.
As far as I'm concerned, probably 6,000 DPOs across the province, development as well as current site.
कि जब तक आप डिसेंट्रलाइज और डिवॉल्व नहीं करेंगे एजुकेशन को डिस्ट्रिक्ट तक, आपके जितने सिस्टम्स मॉनिटरिंग के, इंस्पेक्शन के, ऑडिट के, वो कामयाब नहीं होंगे।
A lot of attention has been paid so far on investment incentives. So what are the incentives that we can offer to Chinese investors and other foreign investors?
They have some investors who are interested to invest from $100 million up to $500 million in the marble sector.
As far as the data being made public is concerned, since the data we're collecting is extremely sensitive.
My suggestion would be that please do include the indicators about the community participation in improving the schooling structure and accountability.
इस साल के खत्म होने पर सिर्फ एडिशनल क्लासरूम्स कुछ रह जाएंगे, बाकी इंशाल्लाह हमारे सूबे में 100% जितनी भी बेसिक फैसिलिटीज हैं वो पूरी हो जाएंगी इंशाल्लाह।
There is a single component that we are focusing, a total quality management approach and behavior model.
स्पेशल एजुकेशन स्कूल सिस्टम यहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा वनरेबल है और तकरीबन आप यकीन कर लें कि 100 में से एक बच्चा भी नॉर्मल स्कूल में नहीं जा सकता बिकॉज ऑफ इनएक्सेसिबल एनवायरनमेंट।
Try to bring the people of these districts up to a certain living standard which is acceptable for all Pakistanis.
The CPEC related investments do hold great promise, but that alone is not going to be enough, and it doesn't substitute for making public investments, for undertaking regulatory reform and for evidence-based policy making.
सबसे पहली बात, the first thing they all said was, we get very good trainable workers.
There can be many reasons why women who are willing to work are not working.
We don't see any actions on the recommendations.
planning and development took the ownership of it, and we had a lot of consultation on it. So now we've got the document, which has got also a work plan for 5 years. It has got an implementation strategy and a work plan.
Thanks to IGC for the great funding to get the project started. Otherwise, it's difficult to do research without that.
So thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.